Hello, welcome to the Joy of Paintball. Welcome to season 2. I don't know what that means in podcast world, but uh, uh, January 1st happened, so I'm choosing to count that as the start of season 2. But here we are. I'm Clint Riddle, and this is the Joy of Paintball. And today I have a very special guest. In fact, he's responsible for the namesake of this podcast. Todd Martinez joins me on the Joy of Paintball. And guys, he delivers. It was amazing. I've tried a few new things. I guess I kind of like altered the format a little bit. I've introduced a lightning round and then something I'm calling Sunday drivers. And it's just sort of some new questions for my guests. We'll see how it goes. Maybe after this I drop it. Maybe I tweak it just a little bit. Maybe I go back to the beginning, but yeah, for now I'm trying this and we'll see how it goes. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I still have the same stock questions I had from last season, but yeah, you guys, this was so much fun and so incredible to have Todd Martinez on. He lives, eats, and breathes paintball, and you get to hear about it, not just through like him working with Defy, or his history with coaching and commentating and playing and then commentating again. And yeah, we talk about everything. Talk about, he's running a field, SC Village, and he's like the bear in there, like just creating these amazing experiences for all of his customers. So yeah, without further ado, here is the Joy of Paintball Season 2, Episode 1, with Todd Martinez. Dude, we got you. We're here. All right. For everyone watching, welcome to the Joy of Paintball. My first guest of Season 2, if you can do seasons on podcasts, I guess. But he's kind of the namesake, or the reason for the namesake of this podcast. Well, yeah, we'll jump into all that. Today I have Todd Martinez, formerly of Dynasty Aftershock, right? Or was there early Aftershock?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Aftershock, Gen 1, Dynasty, Avalanche, a brief stint of playing with Infamous, and then coaching Infamous, and then Vicious, Iron Man, Heat, Aftershock again. Somewhere in there, he was a commentator for PSP, and now he's commentating for NXL. And that's just on the tournament playing side. You also was it Raza and Weapons, and now you're with Defy and SC Village, and you just can't get enough of paintball, is what it seems like.
I can't. I don't know if there's anything in paintball that I have not done. You know, very fortunate to have been able to do something that, you know, I fell in love with at a young age, and, you know, to be able to work in this industry and meet so many people and do so many cool things, you know, it's been quite a ride.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to talk about it. But first, I'm trying something new. I'm going to do a little lightning round that it's kind of like questions that we all want to ask everyone. And I love podcasts that kind of make people feel like they're part of the conversation, or that like they have an answer to certain questions, and that they like to sort of compare what's happening. So we're going to jump into this, and then we'll get into like normal conversations. So real quick, I need to figure out some sort of fun like segue or soundbite for this, but we're going to jump into the lightning round. All right. Todd Martinez, weirdest thing you've heard in a huddle?
Oh, man. Well, I wasn't in that huddle, but there was definitely a short bus clip with our boy Joe Barrett. You know, where you probably just pull that one up and just play it. But he was like, "We're gonna give it all. We're gonna take it all. What they got, we want what they have. We're gonna get it. We're gonna take it." I don't know. It was pretty funny clip. You know, I would have to say that one off the top of my head, but I mean, I've been in a lot of huddles, and it's mostly just foul language and you know,
yeah,
vicious threats. You know what I'm
saying? All right, fair enough. All right, let's see. You're playing your game. What's your walkout music?
Oh man, that's probably changed over the years. You know what I mean? Like I grew up on, Tupac and Wu Tang and Biggie, Eminem, but right now it would probably be like you know some probably Pepas. You know what I mean? You heard that
Okay.
song? Probably that one. Like the dude from the Mets when he walks in. When they play the trumpet. Have you
Oh,
seen that?
all right.
Closer,
I
the
have
Mets
not.
closer when he comes in. You know,
Okay.
you need to check that one out.
I will. I
I think
will.
if it came in like that, I think that'd be pretty official.
Sweet. All
Steal
right.
his swag.
There you go. All right. Favorite keepsake from a tournament?
Um, well, when I joined Aftershock in 2002, Billy Saransky gave me the one of those real tree trunk Sandana head wraps before
Dang.
like they became something that you couldn't get and people were selling them for $1,000 a piece. But like he gave me one, it was brand new, and I saved that. We won World Cup with that, and then I think I wore that like 5 other events in my life. And every time like I really felt it or like felt like we needed to get a win, I pulled it out, and I think I was like 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 with that thing on. I
Damn.
didn't
All
wear it
right.
every event, but like it meant a lot to me. And then I'm pretty sure it got stolen out of my storage unit with all the other stuff, it got
Oh
broken into.
shit.
But I haven't. I've been so too sad to go dig through all my stuff again, pull it all out, and go dig and see if it's actually gone. But I think it might actually be gone.
Yeesh.
It's not like some paintball guy
Gosh.
has it, which would have been cool,
Yeah.
pass it on or something. But it's probably just got thrown in the
Some.
trash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would I'm trying to think what a normal like a civilian would do if they saw a bandana. They'd be like, What am I gonna use this for?
yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep moving. The best team name, real or imagined?
Um, one of my friends, Mike Sapanis, told me that he named his team "Off in the Woods." Like an old team name.
I like
Because if
that.
you won, then you'd have to say that you beat Off in the Woods. Yeah. But yeah,
I was a little slow to that one. Yeah, that
but
wins. That's
I would say the Washington Winstons is also a good one. You know,
okay.
Long live Wolfpack.
There you
I
go.
thought that you know,
Off in the
the
Woods
team I
is
played
a
on had pretty
new
cool
one. That's
Off in
I
the
love
Woods.
that. All right. Let's see. What's something most paintball fields are lacking?
Consistency. I think that it's really just about having good employees. You know,
Mm,
guns that work all the time, paint that works all the time. Um, you know, changing up
all right.
fields. For your regulars that come play all the time. Having that first play experience, I think, is huge. Like
For
I
sure.
think that's something now that I've been taking over SC Village in San Diego. For the last about a year and a half now. Like we just want to make sure that when people come, everybody's safe and they have the
Mm-hmm.
best time that they could possibly have.
For
And that's
sure.
really just about having good, consistent employees that show up and want to work hard and uphold the standard of how we do things at the park, and really just make sure that the parents that are bringing their kids out there, or the mom that found a way to get 10 kids to the paintball field, that she has a
Yeah.
good time and that she's comfortable, and that we provide that fun, safe experience that make people want to come back.
That's awesome, man. I love that. Yeah. Well, we'll get into that here in a minute. Okay. Two more. Best teacher you ever had.
That's a tough one. I guess I would just have to give you the general life answer, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Being
Okay.
very fortunate enough to have started playing paintball when I was 15. Had great mentors, in Maddie Marshall and Davey Williamson, and then getting the opportunity to go play on all these different teams and travel the world at a young age. Started playing tournaments internationally when I was, I think, 20 years old. You know,
Yeah.
go all over the world and see different countries, and play paintball in different countries, and then getting to meet all these different people, just like my teammates, on all the different teams that I played on, older guys from all different parts of our country, and getting to visit them and see what their lives are like, and Um, just being so blessed to have like so many good people that cared about me and showed
Yeah.
me how they do what they do with their lives.
Yeah, it's like a weird hope for humanity moment when you think about like all these like I mean, I'm sure there were some shenanigans, but for the most part, like people were taking care of these kids. Like,
Yeah, there were no
um,
shenanigans whatsoever.
yeah,
We're
none.
sweet
Okay.
little angels. Chris
Yeah.
Lasoya,
Yeah.
good, good, just
Yeah. He had everyone's like best interest at mind when he was doing
yeah,
this stuff. Yeah,
just a
for sure.
nice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like always made sure to take care of the people he shot, their moms and their sisters and
Yeah.
family at the.
Mostly, yeah. I'm just saying, there were people that would take you to the hospital if it was necessary. That was,
Yeah, for sure,
yeah,
for sure. Something happened. He got arrested.
yeah,
Got bailed out of jail.
yeah. At least your
Somebody,
parents didn't have to do
somebody
it.
pick you up.
Hopefully, yeah,
There was no Ubers back then. Yeah.
yeah. Gosh. All right. Last lightning round question. What was the first case of paint you remember buying?
Oh man, there was a couple. Actually, I don't even know if it might have been Cal Magnum.
Okay.
But like for real, when we first really figured out what paintball was, it was the RP Shear Marbleizer.
Okay. Damn.
Marbleizer.
All right.
They had a few different colors. You had the black, swirl
Mm-hmm.
with the magenta. You had
Yeah.
the black swirl with the green. The Gator
Dude.
Black, RP Shear Gator Black, black shell with the green fill.
Yeah.
But
That's the classic, or no,
rounds.
classic's the right one. I see the black and green marbleizer a lot. The neon yellow, I feel like I saw that once, but the magenta, man, I missed that. Only magenta I remember is premium gold.
Yeah, so the
And
premium golds, those came in later, for
okay,
me, like after the Marbleizer, right? But
hmm
Cal Magnum, we didn't really see. I don't feel like we saw a lot of Zap. Zap was a big one back in the day. Cal Mag was
hmm
crap though, and then
it's your first case. It's not supposed to
yeah,
be. Yeah,
yeah.
sick, man. All right, well, thanks for going through that, being my little guinea pig on that. Hopefully, I think some of those will come up later with our like last segment. But yeah, man. One more little like, I guess gimmick, but I'm gonna try this. So I asked you to think of your favorite gun of all time, and I'm gonna try to guess it in 20 seconds. Uh, I'm gonna set a timer, and we'll give this a shot. And I like this may you may not have been the right person for this because I feel like your career you got
I had
a
good
lot of
guns.
options.
I had so many good guns.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna start, and then it'll be kind of like I guess like 20 questions, and I'll hopefully get there. You ready?
Mhm.
All right. Starting now. Okay. So was it a blowback or a spool?
Spool.
Spool. Okay, that narrows it. Was it? Is it older than 20 years? Is it over 20 years old?
Probably exactly by now.
Did you play in PSP with it?
Yes.
Shocker SFT. Damn it.
Yep.
Sweet.
But which
Okay.
one? Which one?
Oh, let's see. 20 years ago. I mean,
You
that's
probably
a
never
hard
saw
one.
it. I have a. I got
Was
a
it?
cut.
You didn't have a
That's
G
Nano.
Max, did you? I feel. Oh, the Anno. Okay, so SFT. I'm assuming. Was it stock or a Dynasty model?
It was a Dynasty model. I still have it.
Oh shit. I'm assuming some sort of green. Did it have like Cash Money stuff on it?
Yeah, it was a Chargers football helmet.
Oh, damn it.
Navy blue had
I
Chargers.
never saw that.
It was
I used
nice.
to I used to troll the forums looking at like, they used to have on PB Nation, they'd have like the sort of like the brag, like check out my setup or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
All right, you win. I don't know what I owe you, but I owe you something. Uh Sick. I was thinking about everything. So what about the SFT? Like over, because you shot Cockers, Angels, and those are pretty. Like Autococker's pretty nostalgic, but like, what about the SFT
I mean,
stood
to be
out for you?
honest, like all of the guns. I always had the best guns. There was no gun that I didn't shoot in a tournament
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't just flawless. Like I had SFTs, NXTs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that Naughty Dog bolt made a huge difference.
Okay.
As far as like shooting straight and
Mm-hmm.
how soft it shot. But I mean, my Lux. I mean, my first like couple Luxes that I had. I mean, when you shot the Shocker, going from Angels to Shockers, you were just like blown away on how straight that gun shot, right?
Yeah.
And then when the
And
Lux came out, it was even better than the Shocker, right?
yeah.
So, like, I mean, I had so many like good guns when I was on Dynasty, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like three Shockers, that I had that just shot unbelievable. Probably two or three different Luxes, that
Mm-hmm.
shot amazing, and I think I sold all of them for like $2,000 a piece, except for the
All
Charger
right.
Shocker Ladanian that I kept.
He's a Texas native.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Dude, that's sick. You gotta, if you get a chance, send me a picture of that so I can throw it up for
No
everyone to
doubt.
see. Um, nice. That's funny. I went from Angel to Shocker to SFT. Also, I had a IR3 that never, yeah. To
Yeah.
going from that to the SFT, it was like, oh, so this is how it's supposed to be. Cool.
Yeah. So I definitely had one of the first generation Angels, right?
Yeah.
And when I was on Avalanche, we got Angels and then the LCDs, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And the LCDs shot really good as well, but obviously it was like a bigger, heavier gun, But at
Mm-hmm.
the time, like
Yeah.
they shot great. Um,
Yeah.
and then I got the IR3 at Mardi Gras, and it was just such a piece of shit. And they're like, you have to use these, and we're just smashing paint left and right. Um, I got
Yeah.
so tired of like smashing paint. We're playing. I think we made it to I think the finals might have been when they're still doing like the 14 round robin, or might have been like
Okay.
the semifinals or something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to shoot Max Lundqvist so bad. We were playing Ground Zero, and he pops up, and I just have his whole everything, right? I probably
Yeah.
put like three or four balls into him, watch them all bounce. We lose.
Oh.
I take that gun and throw it up in the air as high as I possibly can, and it comes straight down and sticks in the ground barrel first, like
Yeah.
Excalibur. And all the photographers ran over and took
Yeah.
pictures of it, and ended up in a magazine and ended up getting in trouble for that. But it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
That gun was
Yeah.
such a piece of shit. I still have a brand new dark IR3 in the box. That's like never been
Damn,
shot.
dude.
It's at my dad's house. Yeah.
What? That
Yeah. I
that's
had bought it.
insane.
Never even played with it. Never shot
Dude, that's amazing. That's you have a lot of restraint.
it.
Right on. Well, thanks, man. All right. So that was like we're done with that. We can get into it. I do like talking shop with you about the guns. So we can stay there, or I kind of wanted to pick your brain about commentating for a little bit if you want, or really just whatever you
Whatever.
want.
I don't
Okay.
care.
So you're jumping back into the booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like official.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I paid for my flight. Hopefully, if I
Yeah.
show up,
Yeah.
they'll let me in there. So,
I have a well, yeah, I have a hard time believing they'd say no to you. Um, right on. So, like, talk to me about like these different transitions. What are you gonna miss about coaching, and what do you look forward to about commentating, or are you gonna miss anything about coaching?
well, I started the commentating with Maddie when the PSP, did the big investment in,
Hmm.
the big giant platform and the big bleachers and all that stuff. And, I did it with Maddie for 8 years, right? We had LaSoy on
Yeah.
there with us. Um, it was a huge production, right? It was a
For
lot
sure.
of fun. It's one of the things that we know paintball needs to try and spread the paintball gospel, as Maddie would say. So, I felt like I put a lot of time and effort into trying to be good at it, right?
Hmm.
I watch a lot of sports, listen to a lot of like sports talk radio, and I'm a big historian, fan of the game, for a really long time. So, I always felt like obligated to talk about like the greats and the history and stuff like that. Whenever possible. So. Um, I definitely gonna miss coaching a little bit. But I did it for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Really, it's just about the players, right? Hanging out with the players, trying to bring the best out in players. Calling plays. In the heat of the moment, it's always super fun. Everybody's got their own style. Um, I've won tournaments with a bunch of different teams. Different players, different types of players, different types of organizations. That's always fun to try and just bring the best out of players and try and teach them the lessons that I learned along the way from different people and from different players and different events and different experiences. So I'm definitely excited to get back up there, and not have the stress of booking practices and
Hmm.
you know trying to get ready. It's the preparation, right? Like everybody loves playing on when you come to the tournaments, right? But it's the extra time you have to put into the preparation, that is the most demanding part, right? I mean, it's all
Yeah.
fun, but just having another baby, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
being gone for like almost 2 weeks at a time, it's hard on my wife, hard on my family,
Hmm.
and getting back in the booth would be fun because I can go be gone for 3 days and be back and still be a part
Yeah.
of paintball. Still get to go watch the tournament, see everybody, hang out, have fun, and just try and help grow paintball people as much as I possibly can. So,
Awesome. Yeah. I love how you're like talking about like the history and um, I just kind of like I do these podcasts mostly so people get a chance to like tell their story and sort of like there's a audio documentation of people for like generations to come so they can be like, oh, Grandpa Todd on whatever, like what did he have to say, things like that. How much of like commentating is like you um like feeling so, or I guess you just said this, but like where do you feel that obligation comes from of this idea of like being there for the player, telling like their story and sort of their accomplishments,
well,
if that makes sense.
some of the guys that I got to see, play that I learned from, either aren't around paintball or in paintball. Um, oh, we're gonna have a baby.
Oh,
They're not, like there's no video of these guys, these legendary players, right?
yeah,
So we gotta remind people of who these guys were that came before us that helped pave the way for guys like me, and
yeah,
my generation of players. But you know, hopefully, we can just teach the guys that are playing now to do the same, whenever possible, because
mm-hmm.
the stories and the history and um, it's hard to know where you're going and what needs to get done if you don't know where you came from, right? So it's really
Absolutely.
just you know letting everybody know like what our sport's all about, what we've overcome, what we've been through, how to continue to grow instead of making the same mistake over and over again, right?
Yeah, yeah, which I think we're moving in the right direction. uh you need to go get or take care of your boy.
No, I think the cat was started screaming.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I think he just made him. I don't think he's awake. Let me go check real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Still sleeping. We're good.
Sweet. Sweet. Well, they just had Dave Pastor on, and he,
Dirty Dave. I love him.
yeah, yeah, they shed some light, or he shed some light just on the like the history of paintball, and you were part of this culture of like uh, party culture, I guess you could say, or like fun culture. um, and I was around for some of that for paintball. Like I really got into it in college, so I don't know if it was that part of paintball or that part of college. But like, do you think we're missing that from paintball, or is it okay that it's not quite as prevalent as it used to be?
I think it's okay. I think the thing was that like paintball was played by a lot like older guys.
Hmm.
I feel like there's this younger generation, like, but the game changed, right? Like, yes, there was that party generation, but I don't know if that was really, um, at the time of like the X Ball era, right? Like, I feel like a lot of that was more 10-man stuff, right? I think
Gotcha.
what he's talking about.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, because all you know, a good portion of the you know dudes that are over 21, go out and go party and hang out. But I think back in the day it was like every night everybody went out,
Yeah.
and hung out, right? But people just don't do that anymore. Like, the days are longer, like you don't have the time for that, like
Yeah.
the pro game, it's physically demanding. It takes time. You got to get up super early to be there all day watching games, watching the webcast, watching, doing film study, or and then playing, right? Like, the games are more physically demanding. Like, I don't think people can go out and party till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then
Yeah.
expect to wake up at 5:30 to get ready to go watch and play all day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you were playing 10-man, you had morning session or afternoon session, and some guys ripped it no matter what. But like, nowadays I think people still get their fill. I think people see each other a lot more.
Yeah.
I feel like back in the day, there was not as many. There wasn't as many events. Um,
Hmm.
so when people came to these events, like, they wanted to see each other and hang out with each other. And now a lot
Yeah.
of it's like guys are, they're seeing each other way more often, seeing each other playing on teams together, in other places, doing different stuff, more practices. And, I just don't think it's like the same type of thing, or, it's more of an athletic sport now than it was back in the day. But, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of the younger guys, they, you have all these people who actually go to the gym, people who actually
Yeah.
work out, eat
Yeah.
healthy, and, come to play at the best of their ability. It's not, a 35-year-old dude that, is going to
Yeah.
go and, have 6 beers and then, you know, shoot 20 pods from the back center. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 We've
Yeah.
we've moved past the softball stage where
Yeah.
yeah. Right on. All right, man. Well, let's transition into this podcast. Kind of stemmed from I'm an artist who makes paintball stuff, and so I try to focus on creators um, through any facet. And you now being running the SC Village, you're creating experiences for people, and I mean, you created a lot of stuff. So we could talk about Defy if you want, and like your role there and what you're producing there, or SC Village. I'm down to talk about both. Let's start with SC Village. How did that come about?
So I, started playing at SC Village when they built the first concept fields, right? Like the hyperball fields.
Yeah.
And, you know, then, they built the hyperball fields, and then, the airball fields came later. But, I've basically known um, Bear DeGidio since he was, a little kid, 10 years old. And, um, he just gave me an opportunity, to take over the field. And, I helped out up at SC, the original SC Village up there in uh, uh, Chino, Corona, wherever you want to call it, for,
Yeah.
for a little bit, trying to, help out and, like, bring back the airball fields, which, they hadn't been doing for a while. So, um, Giovanni went out and had all the fields redone. Then one by one, built a whole new tournament park, and now Mike Hinman's out there running um, all the arenas. Every
Hmm.
weekend, all the WCPPL tournaments are there, and I'm about 100 miles away down here in San Diego. So I got to redo the tournament field down here. Been trying to clean up the park and redo all the walk-on fields for all of our regulars. We have a big paintball walk-on airsoft group as well.
Nice.
So, we do a lot of 50 cal, right? Just try and make fun 50 cal parties for little kids, and,
There you go.
people who don't like getting shot and getting welts. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fun, like, also trying to just be a good mentor for, these young kids that work at the park. I got a lot of kids that are 16, 17, 18,
Mm-hmm.
trying to teach them a good work ethic, teach them some discipline, trying to hold them to a standard. And, like I tell them, like, this ain't going to be your last job you ever have, but maybe we could learn some good habits here that will help you in
Yeah,
your
dude.
future life.
For sure. Yeah, I managed a field down here a long time ago, and I think about the type of worker that worked at a paintball field. Like, we're all like hustling now, doing all sorts of stuff. Like one other dude has a pool company that he runs. He hired other folks from that field. One, like just something about working at a paintball field. Like, if you survive, like you got the grit.
Yeah. One of my first jobs was at a paintball field when I was 16. So
Nice, nice.
definitely, yeah.
How professional was it?
Um, I mean, I worked hard. We had
I'm
to
sure
figure
you did, yeah.
out
But
CO2 tanks. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think about like if there was like a union, like
Yeah.
we're not there. I think about like we're dipping our hands in like straight like just bleach water, just trying to clean masks and like toss them to folks. Like, "Hey, don't it'll sting just for a little bit. Don't worry, guys."
Yeah, sure.
The CO2 tanks, that was, yeah, that was kind of phasing out by the time I was working, and I was grateful. Those terrified me, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Were burst discs a thing when you were filling CO2 tanks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
One of
good,
those things
thank God.
blows up, and the next thing you know, it's shooting everywhere. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Right on. So you're like it's is it your park now?
No, I just run it. I
You run
just
it?
run it.
Okay.
We just try and do as many parties during the week as we can as well.
Nice, man.
It's about
Is
25, 30 minutes from my house.
hell
Easy
yeah.
drive. Always nice.
Nice.
It's up, on the Verona reservation, and you know, get to have a nice little mellow drive in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Get to drive down through the mountain in the afternoon, and it's definitely a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. So you get to see like how many daily, how many first timers you get?
Oh man, I mean, easy 50, 60.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'd say. Between
Hell yeah.
parties and
That's great,
new
man.
walk-ons and stuff. So
That's it's just I'm glad to like that sounds pretty healthy.
it's really
Just for the sport and like getting to see all these folks like or hear about all these folks that are uh, getting the same experiences we had. Probably
yeah,
better than what we had.
yeah,
Yeah. All right, man. Well, uh, let's see. I've got a few just sort of like stock questions I've asked throughout this podcast. We can jump into some of those if you want to get into the. Well, we can talk about Defy.
Mhm.
Talk to me about that. Like, so, uh, at what point? When, I feel like that's been several years now that you've been with them, or a
yeah.
couple.
So I've been with Defy since 2022. Um, it was a very small company when I first came there. My boy Bobby Avilas brought me in. Um,
Bobcat.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah.
And he had big dreams for this company. He believed in the company.
Mm-hmm.
I met the owner. Owner's a great dude. I feel like he is somebody that genuinely cares about people and wanting to do cool stuff. And he's kind of really let me, do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. Having owned and ran my own companies for a long time, I thought that there was a lot of different things that I could bring to the table to help this company grow. And when I came there, we had a warehouse in LA and about 3 employees, and now we have Thomas Taylor running the warehouse up in Oregon. We have
Mm-hmm.
Straza from Battle Creek running a warehouse up in New Jersey. We have
Damn,
Happy
dude.
and Ruben running a warehouse down in Orlando. We have a field in Orlando, and we just bought um, the manufacturing plant here in Anaheim, and we'll be making paint in the USA uh, as soon as right now. So we got
Hell
batches
yeah, dude.
right now. We're going to have paint in Tampa. We
Yes.
sponsored Leverage, the Jungle Cats, the Russians, Wolfpack. Um, I mean, we probably have 100 teams already, flying the Defy flag. So
There you
uh,
go.
our guy Dylan, Dylan Fout,
Dump out. Yeah.
got him on the team. We got Chris Lasoya down there in Florida as well. Uh, my main man Chad Boucher, he is he is the engine, behind this whole operation. We've just assembled a team of, you know, old
Yeah,
wise
dude.
guys. So
For sure.
it's really
I
cool,
feel
man.
like,
I'm excited for all the things that that we've been building and have built over here on the way. So
yeah. Yeah,
it's
y'all
all
could definitely, if there was ever a tournament amongst companies, I think you guys take the cake. You got a team of all stars, literally. Well, hell yeah, man. That's so cool. That seems like pretty, like, since what in 4 years y'all added like what 3 locations and a field.
hmm
That's
and the
amazing.
manufacturing plant last
How
week.
many? That's amazing. How many paint companies have a field? It's like Defy Field. I'm assuming,
Defy
or
Sports Park in Orlando.
how many companies have something like that? I've never heard of that before, except maybe like Smart Parts.
Yeah, I think that
But
was the
like,
last one.
yeah, crazy. That's awesome, man.
That's very cool. Very fun company to work with.
I yeah, I imagine. So serious question: are you gonna bring back some magenta fill?
We'll see. We'll see.
That dude,
We got to see what kind of cool stuff. It's literally just started running the machines on I think with Tuesday or Wednesday,
damn,
but we will have paint in Tampa.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's looking good. So
So are you like learning that like that whole like process now? Like I'm
now,
sure you're familiar with it, but like okay, yeah,
yeah, no, we got the guys up there. The team's already in place to start pumping out paint. So
hell yeah, man, dude, that's amazing. So I'm assuming SC is they shooting Defy, they fly with Defy.
now we have our own special ball.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, all
Billy
right.
Stransky and Giovanni have been pretty good friends for a long time. So
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I'm glad that y'all can maintain like a. I feel like for so long I hear stories. I don't like. I'm not nowhere near as connected as you, but I just sort of seemed like for a while it was pretty. There's a lot of animosity between companies, and it seems a little nicer now. I don't know. So
I don't know. I mean, anytime things are competitive, people always, you know, talk trash and try and outdo the other ones. But that's healthy. I feel like
mhm.
they push us to be better. You know, uh,
Yeah,
we're the new guys on the block. Really. I mean, the company's been around for a minute, but not nearly as long as like GI. Obviously, those guys. I mean, I shot GI paint. When I was playing, and how old I am. So.
yeah,
And we're just trying to be ourselves. We're just trying to do our own thing and do things differently and
hmm,
kind of disrupt that norm of what's been accepted or acceptable for a long time. We want to do things different. We want to bring some excitement back to it. We want to help out the business of paintball because at the end of the day that's how all this other stuff survives, right?
for
Trying to help
sure.
trying to help people have a better product so that when people go play, they have fun and we make it
Yeah.
exciting, make it
Uh,
easily digestible and shareable and easy to deal with. So
Hell yeah. Well, you guys are doing it, man. And that's dope. I mean, that's like the roots of paintball. Like it's all kind of like that counterculture mentality, and just doing it, disrupting and doing it your own way. It checks all the paintball boxes. So
sure.
hell yeah, man. Well, all right. Let's get into some of these questions. And I didn't specify when I sent this earlier. I should have, but what's a piece of art that stopped you in your tracks? And I usually I let everyone know like it doesn't have to be like stereotypical art, like very liberal with what art means. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, when I was, I think like around 21, maybe 20, 21, 22, um, Matt Marshall had a friend named Robbie Drew. And
Okay.
this dude was like
I
peak
think
physical specimen. He was like 6'10", 6'11", at a volleyball scholarship to, I think it was Hawaii. And this dude was just massive, right?
mm-hmm.
And he ended up having like I want to say like a colon cancer or liver cancer or something like that, and got like really sick and really started, I mean, maybe he did before, but like I hadn't seen anything before this, but like he basically was just all he ever was doing was art, right? He was just freehand drawing on anything and everything. And at Maddie's um, place, in Pacific Beach, he literally like we walked in the door and he did a mural on the back wall, like right when you walk in the door, that went onto the ceiling this way, all the way like the whole room, and then onto like the bar at the kitchen. Like this dude just
Yeah.
with Sharpies just muraled the entire like living room at Maddie's place, and it was insane. I
Dang.
had him come and had him do a mural at my first paintball store. I'm
Hell
sure you
yeah.
have some pictures there. And like he did this, I mean, I was like, man, whatever you want to do, did this sick ass mural at the store. And then I actually have a pair of, and I hope they didn't get stolen, but I had a pair of white JT team pants that I got back in the day that were like samples.
Okay.
And I gave them to him, and he, just drew designs all over these pants. It was nuts. Like the
Hell
detail
yeah.
that I did, it was just all he did was just all day, every day. It was just art, And the dude was super
Nice.
cool, super nice, and
Robbie Drew.
yeah, my favorite
I
artist.
Gosh, it sounds familiar. That's dope. So has his art like sorry, what?
Maddie could tell you more about him. Yes,
Okay.
Matt.
I'll have to get him on, I guess. Do that. I feel like someone else mentioned him. Is it most of his stuff like all white and then it looks drawn like he'll draw on like cars where it's like all white and then he draws on it
Well, he
with like
passed away.
black. Sorry.
Yeah, he
Oh.
passed away a
Oh
while ago
shit.
now.
Okay.
But
Sorry to hear that.
if I could dig that up, dig some cool stuff up to show you.
I'll check it out. I'll do some digging too. Awesome, man. Hell yeah. So, all right. So that was art that stopped you in your tracks. Did any of his art work its way like into like actual like I know he did your pants personally. Like, did you ever like throw it at like manufacturers and be like, hey, let's do this?
No.
No. Oh man, maybe like retroactively, I could get
Yeah.
a little Defy like a paint box with some Robbie Drew stuff on it. All right. Who's an artist? Sorry, or a piece of art that we need to know? That's redundant. Who's an artist we need to know?
Give a
Robbie
shout
Drew.
out to my guy, our artist at Defy. His name's Richie Skidmore. He
Richie
used to work for
Skidmore.
me at my paintball stores. He was my
Okay,
airsoft tech. Worked at
nice.
he worked at the store. He was our resident airsoft guy. And just great dude. He lives in Utah now, but he's from San Diego, and just anytime I ever just needed anything, done, like he was just like, all right, like, hey Richie, we're gonna fix these airsoft guns. All right, cool. Hey, we're gonna work the store. Cool. Hey, you want to learn how to use Adobe Illustrator and do the graphic design work? Yeah, no problem. Hey man, we're gonna change this company and do a different one. Okay, yeah, no problem. Like
Hell yeah.
he's been with me probably now for, I mean, probably close to 15 years. And
Damn.
he's gotten a lot of experience now doing the graphic design for if you see anybody wearing a Defy jersey or a Weapons jersey or a Raza jersey from the last 10, 15 years, 10 years. It's probably
Yeah.
just finished. So,
Yeah, I was about to ask if he was part of Raza because I
yeah,
got some jerseys from you.
far back as Raza. All
Hell
of
yeah.
weapons. He was like our only designer with, with weapons, and
That's
now
amazing,
with
dude.
Defy.
Nice. You made an artist. Look at you. You're a
Yeah.
patron. Nice.
Uh, Again,
That's
just
awesome.
lucky to be around people who care, people who believe in me, take a chance on me, and just try and do fun stuff with fun people.
Hell yeah. That's amazing. All right. What is the best piece of advice or wisdom that you've received?
Um, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
All right. Who said?
Yeah,
Where'd you hear that? No, I'm joking. I've
yeah.
read it, guys. It's okay. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I like that. All right. Is that just did someone specific tell you that, or you just kind of?
Jesus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn it.
The Ten
Walked right
Commandments
into
is
that
pretty
one.
good. Yeah,
Yeah. Gosh. I can't. I gotta sharpen up, man. First beating off in the woods, and now that. It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right.
We are we come from all angles over here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Oh man. All
Treat
right.
other people how you want to be treated, man. It's really not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
The golden rule
Yeah. And it's okay to
works
like try to
works
see
well. Works
yourself in
well.
other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Be kind. Be kind to others.
Yeah. It's that simple. Simple's not always easy, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Most unexpected friendship that came from paintball.
Unexpected friendship.
I think about. I guess that I think about like Frazee talks all the time about how I can't remember the person's name, but like him and someone else don't line up politically whatsoever, but at the field, best friends. Like and he never would have. Not I'm paraphrasing and probably messing this up, but that whole idea of like
I
I
got
never
you.
would have known you without paintball.
Give me the question again. How did you phrase it?
Most unexpected friendship that came from paintball. Or it could be, it doesn't have to be like you disagree with someone. It could just be like, wow, so glad I found you like through paintball. Or so glad
Yeah.
paintball brought us together, I guess.
Well, Fran and Nikki that were with me on the Ironman and Aftershock. They're my kids' godparents.
That's
Um,
amazing.
we've been friends now for easily 15 years. I've known Nikki. I mean, Nikki used to play on Destiny way back in the day. So I've
Okay.
probably known Nikki since like oh 03 or oh 04.
Wow.
Maybe even before that.
Hmm.
Um, I helped raise the girls. My twin girls, right? Um,
That's amazing.
the Bortles. I feel like from Nebraska. Julie Bortles still one of my good friends that I can talk to anytime. And she's just
Yeah.
always going to be Julie. Carl and Karen. Two great people.
Hmm.
That I met through paintball. I mean, all my teammates are pretty much wild assholes. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I grew up just a nerdy ass kid, and then found paintball, and got a little motion. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
now I know all these really cool people from all over the world, right?
for sure.
So I don't know. I'm pretty lucky there. So I mean, kind of all of them. Like that's the best thing about paintball is that like all these people are so different, right? You know,
Hmm.
that we can all hang out and have fun and talk trash and push each other and play a game that's super fun
Hell yeah.
and go to church afterwards.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Forget about anything vulgar
Yeah,
that was said. Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, that's amazing. That's kind of the intent with that question. It's just to provide like reflection for anyone having to answer it, and like just be like, oh
yeah,
man, everyone. Which I'm sure, anytime you go to a tournament, it
yeah,
seems like everyone runs into each other, and it's like the best time. Like everyone just like picks up where they left off. And so, right on. All right, Todd Martinez. What is the joy of paintball?
I mean, I think it's what I just said. I think it's that you get to play this game. It's physically demanding. Um, you get to make friends with people from all over the place. Uh, you can challenge yourself. You can go play and practice and you know do all this stuff to play at the highest level, or you can just show up and drink beers with your buddies and not have practice and go out every night and still just go play the game that you love the next day and not care if you win or lose, and see other friends from all over the place, buy cool stuff, wear cool stuff, um, you know get great exercise, and you know just go see different cities and make memories, and do things that other people don't do, wouldn't understand, think you're crazy when you tell them that you travel the world to play paintball, and just get a chance to have relationships with people that last a long time, and have those memories, and do things, and have stories to tell other people. So you know also it's that feeling that only paintball players know when you pull the trigger and you see that ball fly and hit somebody right in the face, or hoisting that trophy, or going through adversity with your friends, and you know working on things that you didn't do well and then seeing yourself do better at them. Like it's all, there's so many different things that are like just little tidbits of paintball that kind of resonate with life, and what are we doing here, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's just fun.
for sure. I
Fun.
love it.
It's memorable.
Yeah, man. How much? So like going back to the field. I mean, you were still connected to paintball for so long, or all throughout like your career, like actually playing at the field. But like once you jumped on at SC Village, how much of like those like first memories came up? Like when you're like, oh, okay, I want to make sure like this part of my first experience is there or not? Like, are you like
Uh,
reliving young Todd's first experience every day?
Maybe a little bit. You know, I mean, I was just 16 years old, just happy to be out there.
For
Like
sure.
just happy to be out there. And now, like, I've learned so much more. I've just been so fortunate to have been around paintball for 30 years. Just to see where it started, and all the different eras, and all the ups and downs of what we've gone through to be where we're at now, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, for me, really, it's just like taking all these experiences, and you know being fortunate enough to work for SC Village, and have the opportunity to influence the new players, try and create new players for the next generation, but also, like I said, the employees, and just helping people make memories. It's always the
Oh yeah.
I went to a birthday party and played paintball for the
Hmm.
first time, and now here I
Got
am.
hooked for
Yeah.
sure.
So
That's amazing. All right. Well, we're rounded third. We're almost to the closing segment. Before we get to that, I just have one request.
yeah,
Uh, that you and Maddie bust out the PB Access polos next week.
dude, I
That's
got I got you one. I'll bring you one.
No, I'm not gonna be there. I'm saying you guys wear it in the booth. Do a little like a throwback, you know?
Yeah. Well, I asked if we had Major League Paintball polos, and they said not yet.
Oh
Wear something
man.
professional looking. So I guess that counts. I have
There you
a
go.
I have a CBS Sports polo from when I did the NCPA.
Oh
I
hell
have
yeah.
the NBC polo. You know,
Nice.
couple.
Which NCPAs did you do?
I think I did like
Do you
4 of them.
remember?
Yeah.
Okay. That was my bread and butter, man. Did you? I'm assuming the ones down at Lakeland. What,
Yep.
what Central? Is that
Central
Jason's
Florida.
Field now?
And yeah, now it's
Thunder Valley or whatever.
now Thunder Valley was the old Tiki's. Jason's
Oh,
is Legacy.
Legacy. Okay,
Yeah,
sick. We may have crossed paths there. I don't know.
maybe. What school did you
All
go
right. I
to?
was University of North Texas, so I was not on the what they call it Class A field. I was a 5-man. So I
I
did
think we did some
play.
jerseys for you, some Raza jerseys for you. No, North Texas.
Uh, yeah, y'all did. Let's see. We did our first 2 jerseys were through Animal. I don't know if you remember them.
Hmm.
And then did we do Raza? I think we did Raza 2010. Is that or 2009? Is that Raza time
Hmm.
frame?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I did. We did that, and then there was another. I had a PSP team that did Raza jerseys also. But yeah, man, I love the the one I got. It was like the material was so like stretchy. I loved it. Uh, I the New Jerseys they like. I'm sure there's like lots of studies done and whatever, but it's like the forearm material is it's a lot. It's almost crunches like paper. Like it's durable. It's strong as hell. But and this is not Raza. I forget who I think. I don't want to say names. But it's just like it's different, and I'm like I like the Raza jerseys, so I still have mine. I wear them to school. I'm a teacher full time, so whenever we have jersey days, I wear them and see if
No way.
anyone's like yeah,
That's awesome.
if anyone recognizes like paintball. They don't.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's funny.
yeah. Well, thanks so much, man. We're coming up on time. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're like, I don't want to take time away from you and the family. So I've worked up this like closing segment, and I don't know how about this name. I don't know if everyone will get it. I'm calling it Sunday Drivers.
Hmm.
And the idea is like, we all like we choose to play paintball and we have like our favorite games that we've ever played, but we don't really know what our last game is. And in this scenario, you get to choose like your dream last game. Whatever fields you want, whatever team you want, whatever you want to shoot, like everything about it is fully curated by you, and it's like if you want to go out like just as best as you can, like how would you set that game up? And so
Well,
yeah.
you see, I got up early this morning, because I knew that there was going to be, some treacherous killers in front of me as I went to, this hormesis winner take all for $10 billion prize package. So I got up early, I had some coffee, looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I'm going to handle business today. Right. So I got out there, first thing in the morning, Alex Goldman right off the bat, bam, beat him 10-0. You know what I mean? Oliver's calling the games. There's a bus full of Swedish bikini models, and they're just all in the stands, and they're just holding up signs, you know what I mean? Holding up the big face signs, you know what I mean? And, holding up Todd, I'm just like, yeah, I got this, I'm saying? It's still early, I'm like, calm down, girls, you know what I mean? The Venezuelan bikini models, they're on the way, I'm saying? My wife and kids, are in the VIP section, cheering me on too. They don't know that all the bikini models are with
Of
me.
course, yeah.
There,
They're so focused on you. That's
they're all in the air conditioned, VIP lounge, skybox. It's actually in the sky. It's like there's like a big blimp, right? And there's like a
there you go.
suspended, VIP lounge, just hanging from this blimp where they're watching down. The girls are, playing iPad, but also watching me murder Alex Goldman. You know what I mean? First thing in the morning, they're up there. They're having, some French crepes. You know what I'm saying, with
Of course.
strawberries and whipped cream and all that stuff. They got a full catered, breakfast and everything like that. Oliver's like, just like sitting there, just getting his mustache ready. He's
Yep.
having French crepes too because, with that mustache, that's like
Why
the
not?
thing we do. You know what I'm saying? We have
Yeah.
espressos and crepes first thing in the morning as I destroy Alex Goldman. Then Konstantin Fedorov comes in. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
10-1
All
him.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Damn.
like I haven't even woken up yet. You know what I'm saying? I just got two of the most deadliest killers in the whole world out. Just gone. Right? You know what I mean? Ronnie Dizon's up next. You know what I mean? He's already whacked out a couple people. From Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But this is Sunday. It's my day. You know what I mean? Ronnie Dizon, he won hell one-on-ones for me. We were on heat. And I just blasted him too. You know what I mean? 10-1, game over. Gotta go. It's just I'm in the zone right now. You know what I mean? I'm in the zone. Okay, the kids are there. You know what I mean? Like Tom Cole is he's on a African safari. You know what I mean? But he's like video conferencing. Like the whole deal. Like, oh shit. Like what's happening with his his blue Adventure Man shirt and his Dickies. You know what I mean? His dogs
of course.
around.
Yeah.
Like he's watching me. From on top of an elephant. You know what I mean? So I got to perform right because
That Starlink's not cheap. You gotta,
what's gonna happen here, right? So after I fucking whack those dudes, it's things are starting to pick up, right? Chris Lasoya, right? But not Chris Lasoya, right? It's a hologram of Chris Lasoya from 1999. I gotta play this, So he's in like full form, right? He's like it's like iRobot, with a Chris Lasoya. Hologram with all of Chris Lasoya's skills. You know what I mean? Like it's like an AI invention. That Mishka, from Heat had been working on. Right? Mishka, like robotics. Like robotic, like that just play exactly like the players. But it's like in his mind, right? So he's controlling it, right? But I'm me, right? So I beat him, 10-3. Okay, it was hard. Prime Chris Lasoya. Coming at me like that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's wild. It's wild.
It's a lot of speed.
To work him up, right? So, I'm about to get on the home stretch. It's like 12, 1 o'clock, you know what I mean? The sun's just over the top of my head, and I'm just like, dude, I gotta start, just like really dialing in. I'm dialed, right? But I'm dialing in, you know what I mean? Like you gotta pick up the other phone and just really start dial up, I'm about to dial up, right? Everybody got Starlink, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. No, I'm linking in right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just calling everybody like, hey, you better tune in right now because this shit's about to go down, right? So I get Alex Frazier on the other side. He's like, I invented this game. I'm the Hormesis dueling master. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, man, you just jump on down there, work him up. You know what I'm saying? He had his checkered headband on and everything. Checkered Hormesis headband. He came checkered head to toe, dude. You know what I'm saying? He was going to come get me, right? But I was just like, not today, Alex. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had to whip him up real quick, you know what I mean? So put him away, it's just like he's no problem, right? Done, game over, right? And so, what else is there, right? I'm like, who we even got next, right? Oliver stands up out of the scorpion box, and he looks over and he says, Archie Montemayor. Brings him. Archie comes out of like an egg, like a dinosaur egg, right? Like I don't even know how he got in there, right? But Archie Montemayor, like a newborn baby, you know what I mean? Looking like paintball Jesus, right? Hair's all glistening, like he got a Jerry curl. He's just got nothing but gold chains, taking off all of his gold chains, gold necklace, gold earrings, and everything. You know what I mean? This was a game. It was just like Archie reborn, but Archie at the same time, right? So I had to play him. And that was a good game. He actually put a five up on me. You know what I'm saying? But I beat him. I beat him 10-5, right? So because I'm just so dialed in right now. You know what I mean? You can't stop me, right? I'm unstoppable. So Oliver's like, that's it. Goes like this, thumbs down. Archie gets beheaded right then and there. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh!
So just like everybody's heads just on sticks. You know what I mean? Just sitting there on sticks. And I'm gonna look at these heads staring at me like, why'd you beat me like that? You know what I mean? And Oliver gets up and he just goes and grabs his gun. Right? He's wearing nothing but like a leopard loincloth. Right?
Of course.
A leopard loincloth, you know what I mean? With a one pod pack. I don't even know how it's stuck. You know what I mean? And we just go back and forth, right? He's shirtless. He's got his mustache. He got whipped cream, like on the neck, a little bit Hormesis, 101 headband, that you ain't ever seen before because it's invisible. You can't even see it, right? And he's playing with just goggles because he don't care, right? Oliver's like, he has some unlimited superpower. I mean, he's glowing like Bruce Leroy, and we're just going back and forth. 1-1-1. 2-1-2-2, you know what I mean? And then at the very end there, right, I go and I'm like, this is it, man. Like this is the way it's gonna go. Like my kids are gonna see me, and it's gonna go down like that. You know what I mean? And I just trusted, and trusted, believed. I know I got this Defy in my loader. Close my eyes, one ball, not even looking the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
May have jumped a little bit early, but he never saw it coming, and he just vanished into midair. There I was. Angels came flying down. You know what I mean? Placed like a golden wreath on my head, right? Some big Hawaiian dude came over and put one of them big flower, lays around my neck. I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little touch. You know what I mean? And then, I got the $10 billion prize package right here. And I waved to my wife and kids, and I walked over to all the bikini models and just started throwing it at them. You know what I mean? Just cash. You know what I'm saying? Cash. And then I picked it back up again. Picked it back up again. Took it home.
You got a family. You got
earn this. You know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe something like that. Maybe, not. Not
that was
not exactly like that. But something like that might be kind of tight.
That was amazing. I might have to just archive this. No one can top that, dude. That was that was amazing.
Saying,
congratulations, by the way.
Somebody else's might be different, but that's just me.
I mean, it may be different. It won't be better. That was amazing.
Not rip my shirt off, Hulkamaniac.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, something like that.
Fair enough. That was amazing. That's a hell of a last game, dude. I'm glad you got to live that out.
And break a sweat.
Amazing. Well, dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you just sacrificing your time and sharing that story with us. I really, really look forward to getting to hear you and Maddie back in the booth together or in the boat together. I don't know where y'all are.
The cannons. We're going to the ship.
Yeah. Manning the cannons. Fair enough. Yeah. You gonna dress in pirate garb?
I have a Hormesis jacket. I think that counts.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's a pretty special one. I bet they could arrange that. Yeah. I think they have eye patches. They might still have those.
Yeah, probably a nice touch.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you making the time.
Hope season 2 kicks off well for you.
It does. I don't know how it doesn't with that final game. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
All right, Rob. Take care.
All right.
See you soon. Peace out.
Later.
Let's do this. Let's give him everything. Let's give him let him take nothing. Let's freaking do this.
Wait a minute. What is this, a riddle? If you solve it,
wait, let's give him
okay. One gives him everything and nothing.
When I say you say B, then dirt nap. 1, 2, 3. You, B, dirt nap!
All right, so I'm gonna say short, and then you're gonna spell B-U-S backwards, and then count to 3, and then we're gonna do everything we can possibly do about nothing. On the third, no. Ready?
We count to 3 backwards?
No, I say short, and then you say bust 6 times.
When I say you say B, then dirt nap.
Whatever you're gonna do, just see red, okay? And when everything turns blue, then I say go.
Let's give him everything. Let's give him let him take nothing.
Do the best you can, but don't do it too hard, okay? Because I don't want to hurt nobody.
Okay, are we giving him everything or are we giving him
yes, short.
S-U-D.
Short. Dialogue.